Considering that I am not an adventure rider, I could not resist testing the latest Himalayan 450. A friend who runs Royal Enfield tours recently received new 450s and I was eager to try one. Seeing how much hype this motorcycle gathered in the past few months after its official release, I cannot walk away from testing it myself. And in this video, I want to invite you for a ride with me and I want to share with you my initial thoughts about this motorcycle. First of all, I should mention that the ADV space is somewhat blurry in terms of attributes bikes should have today. All motorcycles are basically all-rounders and crossovers, which allow you to do a bit of everything. Some of the most popular bikes that represent that space are BMW GS, Honda Africa Twin, and of course Yamaha T7. All those bikes are pricey. They start from 10,000 and with all specs and accessories, this can be an infinite number. This leads to the situation that most people are using those bikes for touring on paved roads. Over the years of riding a motorcycle around here in Montenegro, I have met many people who travel long distances, and I have learned that if you go on an adventure, you should get smaller and lighter motorcycle. This will make it easier to travel through rough terrains and also inexpensive to fix as you are going to drop the motorcycle maybe not a single time. That is why true adventurers will typically ride Honda CRF 300 or Kawasaki KLR bikes. The biggest bike you might see among ADV riders is T7, but even that motorcycle is a bit big by true ADV standard. I have never been interested in Royal Enfield as a brand and I probably won't be buying their motorcycles anytime soon, so I have zero biases, but when I saw the new Himalayan and simply by putting all the specs against the ADV checklist, I could see a good value as this bike checked all the boxes. But let's see how it feels in real life. First of all, the look of the motorcycle. The new 450 looks modern and fresh. I like the color scheme, I like the paint job quality in general. The bike has some modern elements out of the box which might not always be seen on other motorcycles. Things such as the USB-C port or TFT dash with navigation is a good offering for such price point. This generation of Himalayan also has more fluid design than the most ADV bikes on the market. Round headlight, round dash, round mirrors, so it makes it look fresh and stylish. From there I want to move to cockpit and ergonomics. First, you feel this is a modern motorcycle when you sit on the bike. It is not particularly a premium one, as most elements are very simple, but it all looks robust, including switch gear on both sides of the bar. But then you have this huge circular TFT dash in the middle. First of all, it is not typical solution, but the most important thing is how clean and easy it is to read. It can invert the colors depending on day-night situation, and it also offers connectivity. You can display Google Maps on that screen, which is an amazing solution in my opinion, and Royal Enfield actually dedicates the entire page on their website to tell you how cool the screen is, and I would say they probably paid enough attention to tech, which is pretty cool for such motorcycle. Control elements are easy to reach and use. You also notice that headlight and engine switches are not typical. They have swing movement left to right, but they are very tactile and responsive. Everything is very simple but functional on both sides of the bar. For me, it took a minute to get used to everything and start riding the motorcycle. Mirrors are nothing special, visibility is great, they are continuing round design of the dash and the headlight. Moving to a sitting position, this is relatively small engine bike, but I feel here at home. Even with my stature, I don't find myself cramped, which is very well done by Royal Enfield. My only complaint would be the seat. It is hard. After an hours of ride, I started to feel it. Even with soft suspension, seat doesn't make it easier. Other than that, I have almost 90-degree angle in my knees, upright sitting position, and have no problems at all. If you go for an adventure with such sitting position, you can capture the nature and landscapes around you easily. Also, I should mention that most adventure motorcycles are not suitable for most people due to the seat height, which is usually between 850 and 870 millimeters. Himalayan 450 has a standard seat height of 825 millimeters, which makes it very accessible. And now it is probably a good segue to move towards suspension and riding comfort. The suspension is soft but still on the stiffer side. I think that this motorcycle was designed for mixed use on paved and unpaved roads, so the goal was to make it more stable on asphalt, which comes with the drawbacks. When we went to the road with the surface reminding me of washboard, I started to feel that the suspension was not able to perform well on such terrain. You either have to slow down or accept this discomfort. In combination with the hard seat I mentioned above, this becomes noticeable. Also, I must mention that the frame is a bit on the soft side. You start to notice that when you get back to the paved roads and pick up a little bit of speed. Probably for off-road use that's exactly what you need, but for cruising on flat roads, it might lead to instability. Handling is overall good. I cannot say it is perfect because it's not. Maybe it is my particular problem, because coming from touring motorcycles, I used to ride bikes with precise handling, and that is where 450 is not that. It does well on average bumpy roads, at slow speeds, also gravel is not an issue in terms of handling and overall riding experience. But once you speak about performance riding or say road use, that's where the bike lacks in feedback. Those who were never riding high performance motorcycles probably won't notice that, so I cannot call that an issue, but I wanna share that with you. Road and off-road riding. I already mentioned that the bike has average performance with road use and probably does much better off-road. I have not had any chance to use this bike off-road rather than the short stretch of gravel, but I feel that it will do anything you ask for. However, don't expect extraordinary performance. I think this motorcycle is perfect tool to execute riding from A to B, whichever terrain there is in between, but not gonna make you feel like a Paul Taurus. Let's talk about the power plant. The engine is enough for any scenario, not for highway riding or even speed roads, but if you ride with an average speed between 40 to 90 kilometers, this will do the job. I wouldn't expect anything more than that from this engine. It is designed to deliver you anywhere with no particular excitement from riding it. Probably that's what you need when riding bad roads. Couple of moments I want to highlight. First of all, ride-by-wire electronics. Seeing such technology on an affordable motorcycle like Himalayan is so cool. You have ride mode, so bike can change behavior for a variety of situations you might find yourself at. Another unusual thing is a gear change lever. It is super light. You almost don't feel how you shift the gears. I have never had such experience on off-road focused motorcycle. This is seamless process, but frankly speaking, I would not put it as an advantage because sometimes I feel like it lacks the feedback, but I have never missed the gear, so nothing to say about that part. Overall, I think the engine is just average, but I hope it will do a great job when conquering the mountains. So why does this bike stand out for me? Just like I mentioned, I am not a huge expert in ADV space, so I can only speak as a consumer. Most manufacturers were offering either big advanced motorcycles, which are hard to call ADV, or relatively simple bikes such as CRF 300. What Royal Enfield did was to offer modern, inexpensive solution for those who want to try ADV space with no need to break the bank. And I feel this is interesting offering and something new. Let's bring us to the pros and cons. Here I cannot go deep as it requires proper long-term testing in various conditions, but I can definitely say how I can see this motorcycle for me as a customer. First of all, this is something new. With quite an affordable price point, you get fresh tech and modern design. You also receive a motorcycle with an approachable seat height which can go off-road, which is a big plus for most riders entering ADV space. I assume this motorcycle should be reliable since it's been tested in India and has plenty of history of being used on rough roads. My cons for this motorcycle probably would be that it is pretty much average. Coming from riding Japanese motorcycles all my life, I find it really hard to find anything that matches that performance. Quality of riding, if you will. But I must say that if I don't have any reference points, I'd probably be happy with what Himalayan 450 could offer. As usually guys, thank you so much for watching till the end. Let me know in case of questions. Do you agree or disagree with me? Please put all those comments down below. And I will see you in the next one. Cheers!